Hey guys, welcome back to Solo Dad Nation. I was reading an article earlier today, and it's talking about the 7 tips we all need to heal after a divorce. And step one, it's saying develop a support system. So it's not necessarily something you need to heal, but that's something that will help you heal. And this isn't always as easy as it sounds because I'm sure, as many of us are finding out, the friends we thought we had may have went with the other spouse, with your spouse. People take sides, even if they say they won't, they often do. So you might find yourself redeveloping a new network of friends and also a new support system. I would be a little cautious on this one, though. You don't want to burn out your friends and overly burden them with what you're going through. Obviously, you need somebody to talk to, but I would be cautious on how often you lean on people, because eventually, you could wear out your welcome because they might just not want to hear it. It can be a bring me down, but it doesn't mean don't talk to anyone. Just be cautious on how often and that you do talk to other people, and specifically how often you talk to the same people about this topic. So it can be a lot to handle for everybody. 2, seek professional help. And like I said, the title of the article doesn't quite match the information it's giving. I don't see these as things I need to heal, but they do seem like things that will help you with the healing process. So initially, when I was discussing separation, I did reach out and call and talk to some professional people over the phone. 2 of them I really didn't like. That's why I made more phone calls. The third one, she actually made a lot of sense, and she helped me shine a spotlight on things I already knew. But once you talk about it with someone, especially someone professional, because you don't have to worry about wearing out your welcome with them. That's what they do. It really helped shine some light and create some acceptance of the situation. I know a lot of times our heart can blind us from what reality really is, and we'll see what we want. But once you start talking with someone working through it, you might have a quicker acceptance of what's going on. All right, 3, lean on your faith. Now, my big question was, well, what if you're not religious? There's a lot of people that aren't, and that's fine. I think religion's a helpful thing, but often, no offense, but often it can be a crutch. So my thought is have faith in yourself, because a lot of times when people lean on their religion, they're using God as a form of inner strength. So my thought is let's cut to the quick and lean on your own inner strength. If faith, church, all that kind of stuff helps you, that's awesome. Then totally use it. But even then, I think it's reasonable to recognize that there's an inner faith in yourself, and we need to work on growing and developing strength in that, just like you would any skill or like muscles if you go to the gym or anything along that line. Number 4, let yourself feel your emotions. I know we're guys and we're not supposed to feel anything, but come on, that's a load of crap. We all feel things. And the longer we avoid those emotions, the harder it's going to hit when we eventually accept it. So I'm a big believer in doing things in bite sizes. So we don't need to tackle these emotions all at once. A lot of us don't really deal with our emotions. It's just not how we're wired. If you do, great. But maybe just, one little bit at a time. If you're really angry about what's going on, sit back and look at that. See what's happened that's made you so angry, and what can you do to help yourself accept what is, because that's where we're at now. So number 5, this one I think is pretty valid. It talks about journaling your feelings. I don't like the word journal. I think it kind of makes a lot of us feel awkward. But get a notebook and just start writing things down. Keep it somewhere safe, somewhere private, because especially if you're not fully divorced yet, you don't want to put anything in there that could be used against you, so make sure it's in a safe place. But what you might find is, 1, it'll help you work through things. 2, there might be things happening that you didn't even realize, and when you start writing them down, it forces you to think about it, and you might actually uncover more of what the issues are. If they're something you can correct, if it's something you can work on, great. Or it might really highlight that this thing's broken and it's never getting fixed, so I'm glad we're moving on, which will help you with acceptance. That's a big part of it. I think we all go through the grieving process, and one of those stages is acceptance. And by no means do we always stay in the acceptance phase. A lot of times we'll revert back to anger, denial, hope, all that kind of thing. But I think writing down your thoughts will really help you. And that's a huge part, even beyond this whole separation divorce issue. Once you start mapping things out in a book, you might find it's really helpful in all aspects of your life. One of my former bosses wouldn't go anywhere without a notebook, and he had everything in there, from his schedule to notes on doctors that he worked with, all kinds of stuff, and it was really helpful for him, and he's one of the most successful people in the company. 7, be patient with yourself. You know, we didn't get in this situation overnight. We're not going to undo it or fix it overnight. And frankly, maybe you don't need to be fixed. We just need time to let it soak in and accept our new realities, and then figure out what to do moving forward. So that's their 7 tips. I think it was pretty helpful. If you want to Google it and read it for yourself, it's called The 7 Tips for Healing After Divorce. My thought is, start now. You don't have to be divorced to work on these things, especially when it comes to support groups. And I don't like calling things support groups, because that kind of victimizes ourselves, and I don't think we're victims. We're just in a situation that we need to learn how to accept, and how to live our lives a little differently moving forward. But it definitely will help you build that support system, and it's going to take time to rebuild your support system. You know, divorce doesn't happen overnight. We're not going to fix it overnight either. So I hope this is helpful for you guys. Have a great day. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, wake up, make your bed. It'll make you feel better. It's one of those things that just helps. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.